Welcome to DJ TV.
Yes, so my people, we greet you now. Update just dey reach us like this. Say today like this, so say military don take over Gabon. Military don take over Gabon as e dey hot like this. So my people, not be small thing. Una you say this military coup wey dey happen since for other African countries. Not be news again. This time around na Gabon like this. They say their prime minister be their president. He don rule for two term, no be step down, and they no dey see anything wey dey do, no impact, nothing. People dey suffer. So military don vex take over like this. People no go talk too much because this matter e dey complex, no be small. I go play una this video now, make una watch, make una hear all this whole analysis about wetin dey happen for Gabon. Make una watch this video and make una no forget to like and share. Nigeria military, make una open una eye.
With breaking news out of Gabon, senior members of the military have appeared on television this morning saying they are now in control of the oil-rich Central African country. They've ordered all institutions to be dissolved. Military leaders also announced the cancellation of Saturday's election results. The Electoral Commission says that President Ali Bongo won a third term in office. He's said to have got nearly 65% of the vote.
À cela s'ajoute une gouvernance irresponsable.
After noting an irresponsible, unpredictable governance which results in a continuous deterioration of social cohesion that risks leading the country to chaos, today, the 30th of August 2023, in the name of the Gabonese people, we, the Committee of the Transition and the Restoration of Institutions, have decided to defend the peace, putting an end to the regime in place. To this end, the general elections of August 26, 2023, as well as the results, are cancelled. The borders of the country are closed until further notice. All the institutions of the Republic are dissolved. The government, the Senate, the National Assembly, the Constitutional Court. We call on the population for calm and serenity. And we affirm our attachment to the respect of Gabon's commitments to the international community.
OK, let me give you some geographical context here, because the Republic of Gabon is situated on the western shores of Central Africa. The country has been run by one family for more than 55 years. Omar Bongo Ondimba was only the second president of Gabon. He came to power in 1967 following the death of the president Leon Mda, who remained there until his death in 2009. Ali Bongo Ondimba succeeded his father and was then re-elected as president in August of 2016. He has so far served 2 7-year terms, and of course on Wednesday it was announced that he had won a third term following Saturday's election. And Gabon is the 4th largest oil producer in sub-Saharan Africa. The country is a full member of OPEC. Let's go to Nick Hack, who joins us now live from Dakar. Nicholas, you've covered West and Central Africa extensively. You've been speaking to people in Gabon this morning. What more can you tell us about what's going on there?
Well, from people that I spoke to in certain neighborhood in Libreville, in the capital, there are scenes of joys with hundreds of people taking to the streets, chanting that Gabon is liberated, Gabon is free. It's the end of a one-party system or a family holding on to power for the last 60 years. So there's a real sense of joy in certain neighborhoods. In other neighborhoods, we're seeing the soldiers patrolling the streets. And according to the people that we spoke to, there's uncertainty. Are these troops that are loyal to Ali Bongo, or are these troops that have orchestrated what appears to be a coup? What's interesting is the timing of all of this. So just minutes before this address made by these soldiers on national television, well, the Election Commission had announced the results to Gabon's population, announcing that Ali Bongo had won these elections. And just minutes after, we saw this announcement where we saw members of the military wearing red, green, and black berets. The one speaking was wearing a black beret, suggesting that he was part of the infantry brigade. But there was also civilians showing a united front, saying that this is the end of a regime. And just hours before, the internet was shut down in Gabon following those elections. And so now the Gabonese seem to be able to communicate to each other, and they're waking up to what seems to be a new regime. No news yet of Ali Bongo himself, but I can tell you what, when I spoke to some people before, ahead of the elections or during the election day, they were scared to talk, to communicate, to tell us what was actually happening. And today they're finally telling us how this election took place. Some of them told us they saw a fraud on a massive scale in the capital, Libreville, where people were exchanging their votes against 10,000 CFA bills, or that they saw the military taking out ballot boxes from certain areas of the neighborhood, really trying to fiddle with these elections. There was no international observers there to see what was going on. Our team from Nairobi that was supposed to be there to cover those elections were not allowed in. So this is no surprise that there is such a level of joy, given the fact that the situation in this wealthy country, this oil-rich country, has been deteriorating. So while this country is rich in oil, it is poor in terms of the wealth hasn't been trickling down to the population. There was a lot of anger amongst people about that their circumstances have been going from bad to worse in the last few years in under Bongo's presidency. But we still haven't heard from him. We heard from Emmanuel Macron yesterday. There was this announcement, the speech made to all of its ambassadors. And we have to remember that Gabon is a former French colony that is key, a strategic ally to France, both because of its geographical location and both because it's oil rich, and that France has profited from this oil in the last couple of years. Well, he said that he is standing for democracy. So it'll be interesting to see how the French react to this coup that just happened under their nose. In Libreville, there's 2 French military bases, 700 French soldiers in the capital itself, and at Port-Gentil in the north of the country too. Now, it'll be interesting to see how they react to this situation. For the past decades, they have been supporting the regime in place. They say the democracy in Gabon. But this democracy doesn't speak to everybody in Gabon. As you can see, scenes of joy in certain neighborhoods and a lot of people wondering who's in charge of this country this morning. Marlene?
Very interesting to get your perspective. Nicholas Hack there for us in Dakar. Let's go to
DJ